Great. Let me at the outset thanks ED Worth Media and their partner who has organized this event. A very no happening event, very kind of a the need of the day event. And at the same time, also let me greet all the panelists, probably who are waiting for a long, almost 10 minutes now. Now, quickly coming back to the topic of discussion today, today we are discussing about how is that the cloud strategy one has to develop. Uh, Basically, to take care of two three things. One is how do you build resilience within your organization in terms of ongoing demand, in terms of sudden spikes, in terms of building agility and elasticity within the organization, in terms of your workload, in terms of your workforce. And then the second very important thing on the while you are developing your cloud strategy is to look into the business continuity and disaster recovery plan, especially during the time of COVID-19. What we have realized that the certain requirement of the business continuity requirement completely undergone a change in terms of zone wise, regional wise, local wise, and then no probably some of your data center on premises data centers which are located in a particular zone during the time of pandemic, you might not be able to approach those data center or able to access those data center, and therefore the cloud became very handy in this testing time and the ongoing pandemic also. But before that, let me also focus on two, three more points where no and how one has to strategize your cloud journey, and especially when you are trying to move your mission critical load into the cloud. That becomes very important to understand the holistic approach you are taking, the structural approach you are taking, and typically so. I personally feel that the three framework, no one has to defined holistically and structurally, and these three frameworks are your governance framework, your risk assessment and mitigation framework, and the last but not the least is the compliance framework. Now, let me come to the first one, the governance framework. Most of the time, what we are realizing that no, the program or project being taken up, maybe it starts with a big bang approach, but it doesn't sustain over a period because of two, three facts. The first and foremost fact is we do not have an institutional mechanism to carry forward. Now, as part of your governance framework, you must see that there is an institutional mechanism created and it must not be kind of a person dependent or mission leader dependent, which is very important. And that institutional mechanism uh, has to be built up or created in such a way so that there are domain experts, there are technical experts, there are functional experts, HR experts, varied kind of pool of resources has to be there on that institutional mechanism setup. The second very important while you are creating this institutional mechanism is uh, do you really have the strength of the workforce to carry forward within, or do you need a kind of a business model to innovate or to establish where you can see that the kind of workforce you need, the kind of strength and capacity you need, the kind of the continuous training and change management plan you need. Do you need a business model to innovate? That is the another very important aspect of the governance framework. Uh, the third aspect of the governance framework is most of the time we realize that now the organizational alignment towards the program or project is not there, and there your role is very important. How do you take kind of a buy-in of not only your field level staffs but also the senior management and top management for all time to come, so that no any sort of governance issue for running the program or the project, or per se any kind of benefit or schemes that should not be no kind of a halted in between. The second framework I spoke about, the risk assessment framework and mitigation framework. Now, when I say risk assessment, typically what kind of organizational risks you are carrying, what kind of financial risks you are carrying, and what kind of technological and no other risks you are carrying. Now, once you have a proper analysis of all these risks factors, and then probably you also need to plan the mitigation framework, saying that how do you exactly plan not only in terms of assessment, but any of these risks once it hit you, how do you come out of that and come out smoothly? That is the another issue one has to see while looking towards a cloud journey, or while you are developing your cloud strategy. The third very important we find is the compliance framework. Now, whenever you are moving your workload into the cloud, or data into the cloud, or your business application into the cloud, one has to really see that is there any kind of a violation in terms of rules of engagement, in terms of your process, your policies, your regulations, your land of the law, and there no the team who is actually involved devising and developing the cloud strategy need to really go into detail, saying that tomorrow if there is any violation happening vis-a-vis your kind of a compliance framework, how do you come out of that? It must not happen that tomorrow you do not have any answer post facto if something happening to deal with these laws or in a court of law. So that is the another framework one has to very clearly defined, structurally defined, and one has to adhere it. That is also very important. Most of the time, we find that you come out with these frameworks very well, but when it comes to adherence, that becomes a big question mark. And therefore now the close kind of a monitoring, the close kind of a analysis, the close kind of a tracking of all these areas is very important when we are developing our cloud strategy or cloud migration strategy. For an example, let me quote you a small example. While we were connecting to all our global embassies and consulate, I had a tough time to convince the management, saying that is there any kind of a data or information I am violating as far as the land of law is concerned, or as far as no the rules and regulations is concerned, or as far as the guidelines available from government of India, whatever we have available with us. But then once we are thorough with that understanding, so once we could convince the senior management, then hosting some of my static load into the cloud was really easy, and that's how probably we are able to service all our Indian diaspora living across the globe through the cloud kind of a enablement, uh, serving my applications and database from my own on-premises data centers, uh, kind of a keeping track of the mission critical workload and non mission critical workload. How do I distribute between my own premises data center and cloud? So and then it was really easy, enabling all my global embassy and consulate users, and also to the Indian diaspora, giving seamless experience of kind of a passport delivery across the globe. Then once you devise these three frameworks well, monitor well, kind of operationalize on a kind of a holistic way. Then comes, typically I say, how do you map your organizational workload? How do you map your organizational workforce? How do you map your corporate network and applications towards the cloud? And also, how do you map your content and context, while mapping towards these three governance framework, compliance framework, and risk assessment framework? And then, do you really understand the kind of workload you are migrating towards the cloud? The kind of workforce who will deal with these kind of a workload in a cloud environment, and the kind of applications you are now moving into the cloud, including your business critical data and information. And there I really find that you need a complete kind of a structural realignment of the organizational workforce, in terms of training them, in terms of skilling and reskilling them, the kind of training they needed, and also in terms of devising a structural and holistic approach when you are moving your mission critical load into the cloud. The one more point which is, to my mind, it is very important to understand, saying that the digital foundations we are talking about, whether it is a on-premises data center, whether it is a cloud variants kind of a platform you are taking help of, maybe it is a fully public cloud or private cloud or a hybrid way of moving into the cloud. In all sense, in all sense, what it comes to my mind is, we must know our data sets well. We must know our data points well, and therefore I say that right from ingestions to insights, what is happening on your data sets, what is happening on your data points, over the cloud, unless you have the complete visibility across, then it is a problem uh, taking a cloud approach, or while you are strategizing your or developing your cloud approach. The another point which I'd like to mention here is that any kind of a digital foundation we are creating today or tomorrow, uh, whether it is a cloud variance approach you are taking, or the platform help you are taking, or even if your own premises data centers you are building, you must see that the digital foundation should support kind of a any applications from anywhere and from any devices. And while we are taking care of that, you also must ensure that every layer of the digital foundations, the security should be intrinsic and inbuilt. And once you have this kind of a holistic approach, I really find, and what our experience is, that moving into the cloud journey becomes easy. And as I always say, that while you are taking this kind of from your workload, on-premises workload to the cloud, there has to be a learning path. And when I say there has to be a learning path, how have you graduated from your, let's say, silo and paper-based and manual days to a consolidation and digitization days, and then from your consolidation days and digitization days to uh, your automation days, and then probably you can think of having a next level of experience, leveraging this emerging technology. Today we call advanced technology or emerging technology, be it your AI, machine learning, analytics, big data, RPA, which probably I am doing now. Once I have that learning curve, and that should be the way forward, rather directly peeping into a technological kind of a mesh where you are not able to control anything, you are not able to visualize holistically, you are not able to have control of those mission critical data or data points, and then it becomes difficult. So I thought these are the key issues while we are moving into our cloud journey, and how do one has to strategize, how do one has to develop your cloud strategy, and then, as I said, a continuous close kind of a monitoring and adherence, is the way forward. So thank you, and thank you once again, Edworth Media and their partner for inviting me to speak